We all feel intimidated by Giralda's work. Well, obviously, he's a great painter. He's young, he's fashionable, he's Spanish. But he spends 14 hours a mini, and we're gonna have to settle for 20 minutes? We are quite lucky here because Infinity Minis are quite easy to paint. There we go, prime time. Is there any way to understand what kind of primer I shall use? No. What I can tell you, we want to create lights at this stage, and this is why I'm spraying lighter colors from above. It's called pre-shading. You may very easily create variations by sticking to gray, because the closest you get to the mini with your airbrush, and the brighter it gets. This doesn't mean you may not use white, just don't, overdo it. It's quite easy to, let yourself go. Obviously, you may fix it afterwards, but 20 minutes means no time for fixing. I'm using ink at this stage. You may use diluted paint, no problem. The thing you have to really understand is that you want the light you have created to show through. Well, leaving some white on the tips is not really a sin. There's nothing really wrong with sins anyway. Plus, you're saving yourself some time. Now, I suppose you don't want to turn everything pink. So what I suggest you do is add some yellow to the white and wait for the red ink to dry properly. Once it's dry, you may go white, no problem. Okay, if my calculations are right, you should be left with 10 minutes at this point. So paint black, everything that needs to be black. Save your highlighting for the most prominent dark plates. For example, the ones on the front. Oh crap, we're left with like 6 minutes. Okay, look at this. For highlighting, I suggest you take a crayon, wet the tip. This way you obtain a result that is kind of less dusty. It's like dry brushing, but more precise. Take any color, as long as it's light, like gray, white, yellowish. You have seen the scratch metal that Giralda shows off every time? You can do that. Look, 2 seconds. And don't forget to varnish everything, because otherwise it's just pigments. You can in fact move them and remove them with water. Once you varnish, they are fixed. Yeah, I know at this point you had 3 minutes, but the big dark plates on the front deserve some wet blending. The only thing I can tell you, it's very easy, and it's wet. This is why it's called wet blending. Very wet. Okay, I confess in this very moment my 20 minutes are over. But still, I want to add some details, some turquoise. If you still have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, you highlight with white. That's it. As you see, painting Infinity is kind of easy. It's all metal plates. Once you know how to deal with non-metallic metal, you're normally set. So look at what we have. That's it. I didn't paint the iguana here, but it took like 40 minutes, 45. See you next time.